There's no place for politics or partisanship in this investigation. Our only charge is to follow the facts where they lead us. And while we have a lot to uncover, there are a few things we already know. We know that the insurrection on January 6th was a violent attack that involved vicious assault on law enforcement. We know there's evidence in a coordinated, planned attack. We know that men and women who stormed the Capitol wanted to derail the peaceful transfer of power in this country. We know that 7 people lost their lives.
Are treated fairly and given every opportunity afforded them by law. This was not done in the case of the Republic of New Afrika. They are charged with obstructing justice. This, I believe, is an attempt on part of law enforcement officials to stop the Republic from building its community. My position is that people are entitled to live as they choose, so long as they are law-abiding and peaceful.
Last September, Lofton Mason received a tempting offer for a portion of his farmland just outside Jackson. The price was right, and Mason approved of the plans of the prospective buyers, a group of... Over the next 6 months, the group leased the land and began this foundation for one of their buildings. But then last March, a larger contingent of the group turned up, some of them carrying guns. They proclaimed the tract of land the capital of something called the Republic of New Afrika. They raised a flag and stated their purpose, to form an independent black nation in the South. This was the first indication Mason had that his land was to be used as headquarters for what local officials have labeled revolutionaries. Mason hired an attorney who advised him that since the group had not paid full rent or a down payment for purchase, they had no legal right to stay on the land. A local court has enjoined the New Africans from trespassing, but the group still claims a right to the land and will bring their case before a so-called People's Court. Mason is keeping his shotgun handy, but for the time being is letting the law handle his case. State and local officials and police have backed Mason up and are ready to help him defend his land if it becomes necessary. But many people here hope that a confrontation can be avoided, that the Republic of New Afrika will just fade away or locate elsewhere.
Next news I got, they were down there on the place, on the land. Well, I didn't see them down there, but I was informed that they were down there waving their gun. So I decided it wasn't no need of me going down there talking with them, because chances are I might have got hurt down there among that many. So I applied then to the sheriff. And my lawyer and I went and talked with the sheriff. And they wrote up some papers. We went down and looked for them, but they wasn't there.
Well, if they should try to return to the land, what would you do?
Well, if they would try to return to it, I'll notify the sheriff and my lawyer. And I don't know, there's nothing I could do unless I was allowed to get a little bit better weapon than I got. I'd like to have a machine gun if I could, but I don't know whether they want me to have it or not. So I know what I'd do if they would let me have that. I was thinking this morning about asking permission to own one while I'm in this category.
What would you do with a machine gun?
Well, I'll do whatever that machine gun would allow me to do.
You mean you would use the machine gun to keep them off if necessary?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that type action will become necessary?
Well, I don't much think so, but I didn't think they'd go down there and go in the place, and I had put up posted sign. I never thought to tell you a minute ago, I had put up posted sign down there, and they pulled that post up, and pushed the post and sign aside. Now, if they did that, and I'd already told them that I wouldn't sell, I don't know what else they might do.
Are treated fairly and given every opportunity afforded them by law. This was not done in the case of the Republic of New Afrika. They are charged with obstructing justice. This, I believe, is an attempt on part of law enforcement officials to stop the Republic from building its community. My position is that people are entitled to live as they choose, so long as they are law-abiding and peaceful.
There's no place for politics or partisanship in this investigation.
On Tuesday, in this courtroom right here, I filed a civil suit against the Kangaroo Committee on the Hill, 7 partisan Democrats, 2 Rhino Republicans. The essence of that civil suit was that the subpoenas issued by the committee are ultra vires, unlawful, and unenforceable. And I made that case based on 4 legal arguments. The first is that this committee is neither duly authorized nor properly constituted, meaning that it doesn't follow the rules of either the House itself or the committee's own authorizing resolution. I would refer you to the civil suit, but it's H-Res 8 and H-Res 1037. I am not the only one who has filed to question the validity of that Kangaroo Committee. Nancy Pelosi herself calls that committee unprecedented, and she's absolutely right.
There's no place for politics or partisanship in this investigation.
Some